How you guys doing? Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, local here. I guess for both guys, maybe Chase, you could take it first, then Nick. They didn't pull up this regional until the very last. And I know you guys, there are a lot of Pac-12 teams that were probably thinking maybe they had that spot. What was it like waiting, and what was the emotion like when you saw your name pop up?
Yeah, it was a crazy experience for sure. It was one that we won't forget, and it was super exciting, very nerve wracking, obviously, because it's a NCAA tournament, it's a regional tournament. This is where we want to be, but for the most part, we're just ready to go. We understood that once our name was called, we had work to do, and we had lots of fun. But it was for sure a day that we'll never forget.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience than the last 2 years we've had. Our first year we were hosting, so it was like, oh, we know we're in. So it was, and same with last year, we kind of knew what to expect, and then this year we didn't really know what to expect. And like you said, just it was an exciting day, just hearing our name called at the last minute, and just like you said, knowing that we got a lot of work to do, but we're excited that we got the chance.
Me for both again for Chase first and Nick. Sometimes when on the paper they said you guys were one of the last teams in. I know a lot of times in basketball tournament, the last team in can be pretty dangerous as an at-large team if you're not an automatic qualifier. Feel like you got something to prove. Just what's the attitude going in? Because people might say, "Well, gosh, they barely got in, but now you can do some damage."
Yeah, I think it's one of those where we understand that we're gonna have a huge amount of work to do in this tournament. We have great teams all over the country, but this is one that we know we're ready for. And we're super excited, but very very nonetheless tense, obviously, but loose at the same time because we have to play. We know what ceiling we have, and we know we got to rise to the occasion. We're ready to do it.
Yeah, I think we're just playing with house money. We got nothing to lose, and we're here to play hard, and we're here to play and win games. So I think we're excited.
Talk to you guys so much.
That's not too bad.
I guess for both guys, Chase. What do you guys know about TCU? What's your take on them? They're really hot right now.
Yeah. Every team in this tournament is hot, so it's another team we're getting ready to play, and they're very talented, and so are we. We're dogs, and they are as well. So we understand every game we play from here, and now it's going to be the same as that, the same intensity, and there's a great atmosphere of baseball to play in, great ballpark, and heard lots of good things about it. So I'm excited to take it on, and we're ready to have fun.
Yeah, they got really good coaches on their side, and we've played against some of their coaches at previous schools, so I know they're gonna be well prepared. They got really good players. I know a couple playing against them in summer ball and stuff, so they're really talented. And like you said, they're really hot. But I think we're in the same boat. We're very similar. We both went through midseason struggles throughout the year, but we've overcome those, and I think we're both going to be out ready to play, so it'll be fun.
All right, fellas. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll open it up for questions for Coach Hale. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay. Chip, what was the experience like for you on the selection show? Because, what were those emotions like? What was going through your head? And just when you saw your name pop up there, how good did that feel?
Yeah, I felt really good for the kids. We have a veteran group, and I just really wanted them to get one more shot. They had played so hard and made up so much ground late in the year and showed everybody that they were a tournament worthy team. Now, is that going to get you in? You need a lot of things to work for you. Our RPI was good. We knew that. We played a lot of good competition. We played great in our tournament. But our goal was to win that tournament. So we came up one game short. And so you just sort of leave it out there for the committee. And so you see, like you said, it's the last one, the last name. You're like, oh my goodness. And it pops up. And just to see the guys celebrate as a coach and an older guy who's been through this thing makes you feel good. Makes you feel good for them.
And then do you know who your starting pitcher is going to be tomorrow?
Yeah, Cam Walty will start. He's usually been our Friday night starter. He'll start tomorrow night.
What would you say about him in season he's in?
He's probably the reason we're here. To be honest, he's had a few, like every pitcher does. You have some clunkers as you go on, but when he got healthy, he was a transfer from Reno. He got hurt in Cape Cod, so he missed almost the whole fall. Came back, was throwing the ball well, got hurt right before the season started. And when he got healthy and 100%, we put him in that Friday night spot, and he sort of solidified some things for us, gave us innings, so our bullpen wasn't so taxed. and just, knows how to pitch, mixes, he'll pitch up, pitch down, in and out, and mixes pitches. So we're excited.
Do you think that the team has anything to prove, as since like all the reviews of the field and everything, it seemed like biggest surprise was always
Right.
Arizona. And just you against some of the other teams that were considered. Do you think that you have to prove that you earned that spot?
I don't think so. I think at this point, we're just like they were saying, they're playing their tails off. They're going to give it all they got. You don't know what's going to happen in this regional. It's obviously best case scenario, you win 3 games and you move on, but it's never that easy, is it? So they're going to play. We talked about it the last month of the season. It doesn't matter what the score is, up, down, even. We're going to play the same way. We're going to play confident. We're going to play hard. I think when you start trying to prove you need to be in there, it just makes these guys too tight.
Having to face Ole Miss last year, and they were in kind of a similar situation that these guys see that it really doesn't matter what you did along the way as long as you're playing well at the right point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was a great regional in Miami last year, and Ole Miss was hot, and they got it going and took it all the way. So yeah, they got to see that, and then, like I said, it's an older group who's been through this, and so hopefully they'll use that experience to their benefit.
Dave Van Horsen earlier saying he thought it was a pretty wide open regional. Anybody could win it. I've seen some articles and metrics saying this is the toughest regional. Just wonder what your take is on the regional as a whole, and do you feel like it's pretty wide open?
There's no doubt. I mean, I've watched a ton of video on all 3 teams were playing. And I'm very familiar with Santa Clara. I grew up 20 minutes from the campus there, so I always have followed them. And they have some tremendous players, tremendous pitching, and they're our 4 seed. So I think it's definitely wide open for sure.
What's your take on TCU?
Well, yeah, you said it best. They're hot. They're as hot as anybody in the country. I watched them play a lot. My daughter went to TCU, so I'm a little bit of a TCU fan. So Kirk, of course, I managed against in the minor leagues when he was a pitcher for the Astros at the time. So I've known him for years and years. TJ Bruce, like we were talking about earlier, was at Reno. So we know him really well. They're well coached. And you said it best. They're hot right now. Hopefully we can match it.
You might ask what your daughter's name is?
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume she's rooting for you enough for alma mater.
Well, let's put it this way. Last year, one of my assistant coach's daughter went to Ole Miss. So this is kind of a running joke with us. So hopefully, no, she'll be rooting for us. She said on her social media she took everything off this week.
And then you obviously have a pro background in pro ball.
Right.
What's the transition been like being a college coach?
It's been great. I mean, number one, it's the kids. Jay went to LSU and he left us a great group of guys. Dan Susak last year, 1st round pick. Hopefully Chase this year will be a top 2 or 3 round pick. So talent is what you win with. Got great coaches. So it's been a wonderful experience for me being back home, being in my alma mater, just trying to follow in the footsteps of great coaches. Frank Sanset, Jerry Kendall, Andy Lopez, Jay Johnson. It's just been unbelievable. Good.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys.
Good luck.